Yo, welcome to Entirely PS2. On today's stream, and we've got a very quick one, we're playing Soviet Strike for the PlayStation 1. If it runs on PS2 hardware, it counts as PS2. So, in order to use PS1 games on a PS2, it is essential that you use the red, white, and yellow cables. It will not work otherwise. Let's close my curtain, because then it just looks better on my screen, and you get this nice grainy effect from the ISO having to boost up. See these purples here? That's all something to do with the way electricity is processed. But who gives a shit about that? Soviet fucking Strike. I loved this game as a kid. And this is my first actual chance to play it again since I was an actual child. And I loved this thing. I played this so much. I grew up as a person that wanted to strike Soviets with an Apache attack helicopter. I never did strike Soviets, but I did join the Army Air Corps for real and work with actual Apache attack helicopters. Obviously never flew in them, and I'm okay with that. I got myself out of military service before they could deploy me into anything real, because I learned quite quickly I didn't want to be involved in anything fucking real. But here we are, Soviet Strike. What are my controls? I can strafe with these two buttons there. Something just made me go up. I can use analog stick to turn about. I can press X to fire my machine gun. Ooh, if I keep pressing this button, it toggles between different states of your UI. That button being L2. And R2 appears to do nothing that I can currently see. X was my missiles. Circle's a big bomb. X is another big bomb. Oh, so have I got a total of 4 weapons? Yeah, cool. Right, so let's stop wasting ammo. Are these good? Yeah, these are good. So we want to fly over them. And if we fly over, they'll automatically be picked up. I don't know how many we can carry. Cool, so we're currently carrying 2. Carrying 3. And then we take them over to here, and then it drops them off. And they put this really close so you get to learn the mechanic before continuing on into the wider area. That's good game design. These are like refuels. So one will be fuel, one will be weapon. That's the one that's weapon, that's the one that's fuel. We don't want that currently, but it's worth knowing that it's there. Ooh, you're the baddie. Let's get you shot to death. And I guess in terms of weapon management, it's a matter of matching your output to the situation. So if you're blowing up a building and you want to use a heavier gauge weapon than if you're just shooting a pedestrian. Because otherwise you could just use all of your building blowing up stuff on pedestrians, and then it tells you to blow up a building and you can't. You've got to go and refuel. So we're using whatever. Like I can't read. So obviously we're looking to the left now. The top one says guns. I can't tell you what the one underneath that says. I know that it's going to be rockets actually, isn't it? Be rockets, missiles, and then super duper sidewinder. I don't effing know. Ooh, Return to base. Have I just, like, fucked things up? Which direction is the base? How do I know where to go? It's forced my hand. Ooh. Ooh, I might have run out of armor. But now I'm back up. I don't know what's happening. Can you see a map? Right, okay. This is how we know what we're doing. And by selecting a thing, it causes that thing to flash. All of them appear all of the time. I didn't intend to do that. It's just more information about that particular type of thing. Let's just go out of this if we can. There we go. And right, what did I? Back over to map. Cool. Right. So we want to shoot them. We want to save them. But we want to go to the blue because that's where the mission is. So we're going to turn. The camera didn't follow. How do I... Is there a way to just independently turn the camera, or will that just always look down? Fair enough. So I'm going to try using the directionals instead of the analogs for a bit, because that seems to make it, based on the fact, you know, that it was designed for this, just a tad more intuitive. Somehow. Ooh, do a turn. Get you shot. It's still just telling me to return to the base. Does it mean this base? Do you want me to just land here? No? What about up here? I have no idea what I'm doing. But that was true when I was a kid as well, because I didn't really pay it, and I don't think I paid the actual objectives that much attention. I just sort of flew about the maps and did my own thing. Ooh, we should grab some more fuel quickly before we go too far out, and then we'll just explore the map and shoot some stuff. Where was my fuel at? I know it was close. There we go. And now we refueled. Cool. Just for the fun of it, we'll also pick up this. And then we're just going to go in a direction the way that I would have done so as a kid. And just blow shit up. Boom. See that? See that pop? It's like controlling an aircraft in Command & Conquer. The game. A whole game of an aircraft in Command & Conquer. Except when I was a kid, I've been playing this on an actual CRT. So it would have looked better, because, you know, pixel art just looks better on CRTs because you get a natural... You get a natural anti... I don't know what the term for it is. Anti-aliasing probably isn't the term. Just in case, because I gambled with my game output, so I've just dropped it down a little bit, just in case. Because this might be a very bad stream right now, because I didn't check the audio levels. I don't have much time, because I've got to go to the dentist and maybe have a root canal. Or maybe have nothing. I don't know. We shall see. This is a little bit of time that I've got before then to revisit this gem of a game. I couldn't when I was at so I went to the Bolton Game Convention. Not convention, but it's like Bolton Gaming Market. It's not unique to Bolton. It's a travelling event in which sets itself up wherever it can be. This used like not the actual stadium bit of a football stadium, but the, do you know where you typically hang around to like buy food and shit from? He used that bit of a football stadium to let people set up loads of like game stalls, and it was really cool. I was on a very tight budget, so I wasn't going in there to buy, I was going there to mostly browse. I first bought a game called Aeon Flux for the PS2, and that's a game in which is tied to the series of the same name, which started out as a weird concept thing in 1991. Very experimental, but got like a bit of a weird cult following, so eventually got a show and got a film, and this game covers like a 400-year time span between the events of the show and the film or something like that. Think of it like Prince of Persia meets The Matrix in terms of its gameplay. Next, which I sought out, and this was like, it's been on my radar for a bit, and that is Rogue Galaxy. It stands as like a think of it as Knights of the Old Republic, but it's really Dark Cloud free. But it's Knights of the Old Republic, but it's Dark Cloud free. It's really interesting. Got some really cool systems. I'm interested to see just how far that particular rabbit hole goes. And finally, look, it gives you passwords instead of saving, so I could do a no memory card run, but just remember the password to keep my progress. There was no progress. You just saw that there was no progress because it just didn't do anything. And that's a little bit of a taste of Soviet strike for you. I might have time to do a little bit more. What's config? Right, that's for settings. Strike files. What's file 2? This will give us a different place, I believe. And start. And we're doing something. I don't know what we're doing, but it's something. Might just be the same thing again, to be honest. Because you might have to complete the level to unlock the next level. I think this might be how that's set up. In hindsight, if I was back there now at the game market, I saw Soviet Strike, so I've got it. I actually saw it twice. The first was like a really bad copy for a £5. I spent a little bit more to get a good copy for a £10. Two games that are probably affordable, that if I saw, I would love to have got. One, Auto Destruct. It's another EA game. I believe this is also EA. Yeah, Electronic Arts. Back before they were demonic. Yeah, I really liked Auto Destruct. You drive around a city as a car with weapons. It's like this, but you're a car and 3D models, and you just do like missions in this city. It was really cool. It was before Grand Theft Auto effectively, you know, stole its niche by being a much broader city exploration thing. At that time, there wasn't anything else in which really stood alongside it. So Auto Destruct was really cool. The other one, and it isn't Riptar's Rage by Rugrats, or is it? Because I probably would have bought that if I saw it, but there was something else that I had in mind that I've forgotten. So I'm going to say a thing that wouldn't be affordable, but I would have liked to have seen, and that is Lomax. I love Lomax for PS1. It's a 2D, well, 2.5D, beautiful pixel art, beautiful music, side-scrolling platformer, in the vein of, like, not quite Crash. I don't really know what to compare. No, in fact, it's in the vein of Ghouls and Goblins, but with a little bit more emphasis on the platforming and a little bit more friendly. And is based in the Lemmings universe. I believe you play as a lemming. But I just had that as a kid, and it was really good. And whenever I've tried to emulate it, it's just not really worked. For some reason, the music never carries through when you try and emulate it. And the music is a big part of what makes it. So I don't want to play it without the music, because the music contributes heavily to what I think of the game as being. Cool. So we're shooting about, and I don't know how many. Oh, is it attempts? So if you run out of attempts when your armor goes, you'll just be dead. Why is it telling me to return to base? Am I supposed to have saved a person before they get killed, and if they get killed you've just failed and you have to do it quite quick at the start of a mission, otherwise the mission's just over, and although it lets you continue to fly around like I used to, you can't succeed. That might be what's happened, but that's fine. We could just fly some of the little men back to this helipad. And I'm going to go in. Maybe have a root canal. Wish me luck. This has been entirely PS2. Playing Soviet Strike for the PS1. Have yourself a good day. That's been the stream. Bye!